So, good morning to everyone. So, this is Madan Chitran. So, working as a EP in CSE from Kongunadu College of Engineering and Technology. So, today we are going to see the subject is a Java programming. So, under the Java programming, we are going to see the unique one. So, it is a basics of OOPS and the Java fundamentals. So, OOPS, the object-oriented programming. You can see one by one. So, OOPS concept is one of the important concepts in the Java, Java as well as in C++ programming. Okay. So object-oriented programming, shortly we can call it as it's a OOP, that is OOPS for short. It's a dominant programming paradigm for these days. So before that we have the structured-oriented language. So now it has been replaced as a object-oriented programming. Structured means, so in 1970s we have used the structure-oriented programming. Here we are moving about the object-oriented programming. So Java it's totally object-oriented. So fully based on the objects only we have to perform the programming concepts. So there are some few concepts will be comes under the OOPS concept. First is the object, class, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. We can see one by one what is the basic things, what is the definition, and we can see one example for each one. So object, is a real world entity. So such as pen, chart, table, etc. Okay. So any entity has a state and behavior. So observability, if the object is there, definitely the state and behavior will be there. So without a state and behavior, we cannot consider there is an object. So it can otherwise can define object can consider instance of a class. Okay. So in this diagram, so it is represented as a object is an instance of the class. So object contains an address that takes up some space in the memory, of course, and each and everything. So if it is a variable or object, however it may be, the memory will be consumed. Okay. So object is a real world entity. So example, it's a chair, pencil, and then table, etc. Okay. So in programming ways, it will slightly vary. So okay, you can see. So object has the three characteristics. First one is the it has state. So it states the data of an object. Right? So it represents the data of an object. So behavior. So it is a functionality. What it works like that. It is an uh, how it works. The function will be defined in the behavior state. So identity. So object is typically implemented in the by a unique ID. So next one is a class. So class is it's a collection of objects is known as a class. So it's a logical entity. So already we seen what is object. It is a real world entity. So object class is the collection of object is known as the class. Okay, it's a logical entity. Okay, a class can be defined as a blueprint from which you can create an individual object. Of course, based on the object only we can create the class. A class consists of the data members and methods. Please remember. So it's a second OOPS concept. First one is the object, second one is the class. Class is the collection of objects, and then it will consider the data members as well as the methods. So two things will be there. So it's an example program we can see. So here class is the class name. So class should be defaultly it will become class, and then this one is a class name. So within that I am giving as the string is an data type. So within the data type given as the data type name is it's a name, and then integer each. I am having the two methods void walk and void run. So void is the keyword and walk under run is another method. So how we can create the object for this class. So this is the main thing. So based on this only we can access the data members, and then what are the data present inside the program we can access it. So how we can create? So this is just general syntax to create the object. So simple. So class name, object name equal to new of your class name. So keep remember. So what is the class name here? It is a person. So here person object name you can create by your own. So you can give A1, B1, C1 like that, or else ABC1 or A1, however it may be. So it's your wish. So class name, object name equal new of your class name. So new class name already same. The person will be there. For example, in next slide. So here I consider as a person is the class name, and then IT is the object name. So new of your class name. So class name remains same thing, the person. So this is the way of creating the objects in the for the class. So based on this only we can access the data. Okay. So next one is the inheritance concept. So inheritance is nothing but it's acquiring the all properties from one class to another class. For example, we can take our human being example. So father, mother, sorry, father, son, and then grandfather. So the properties has been some of the properties genes will be inherited from the grandfather to or grandparents to the grandchildrens like that, or father to their grandchildren, or father to the son, likewise vice versa, the not vice versa, the from grandfather to grandchildren, the properties has been transferred. The same concept has been operating here also. Okay, so acquiring the all properties and behavior. So we can tell the kid is look like a grandfather, like we are telling the same thing. So grand properties and behavior of one class to another class. Right? Acquiring the all properties and behavior from child class from the parent class. So from the parent class only, the properties and behavior will be inheriting. Okay, so the example has been given here. So the vehicle is the parent class that will extend the core as well as the one of the core properties has been given. So inheritance hierarchy for the vehicle, core, and then alto. So alto is the one of the core variety. Okay. So it provides the good reusability and establishes the relationship between the different classes. There are three types of inheritance will be there. So one is the single inheritance, multi-level, hierarchical, multiple, and hybrid. So here multiple inheritance is not possible. So it's a types of inheritance, but in Java, so multiple inheritance we are not using. So why, let us see in later session. Okay. Next one is the polymorphism. So polymorphism. So when one task is performed in the different ways. So look at this diagram. So in this diagram, you can easily understand. So here, what are the common things are there? So one common thing is the method draw is the common for the everywhere. So draw, so draw. Okay. So what is the definition they have given? So one task performed in the different way. So one task, what is the task? So draw is the task. So I'm going to perform the draw. I'm going to perform the drawing the shape in different time. One is I'm drawing the triangle, and one is the rectangle, and one is the circle. Okay, so this is the known as the polymorphism. So when one task is performed in a different ways, it's known as a polymorphism. For example, they given to convince the customer differently to draw something a shape or rectangle or something, so they have given.